Well, bore da pawb. I'm back with a little bit of a maths lesson. I'm just trying to get everything straight on the screen because I have asked my Year 1 children when they are home to learn about telling the time, concentrating on o'clock. So I thought I would come on to do a little bit of a lesson, and as you can see, I've had to make my own clock because I haven't got any of my clock resources in the house. So luckily enough, I'm a little bit crafty, so I've made myself a clock, and I've also got a clock to show you how things work. And this actually is a bit of a story behind this. My nephew bought me this as my birthday present when he was about 3 or 4 because he thought I really loved cows. And this is actually an alarm clock, and when the alarm goes off, it's a cow mooing. So thank you for that, Tom. So we're going to start by looking at my homemade clock, and when the hands of the clock go round, they go round in this direction, which is called clockwise. Now this is an analogue clock. On your phones and your iPads and your Kindles and on some alarm clocks, you have a digital clock which has got the numbers, and I haven't got my phone is filming at the moment, but the numbers are written differently. But this is an analogue clock, and that's the one we're going to concentrate on for today. So here's my clock with 2 hands. This clock here has got 3 hands and a little alarm thing, so we're not going to worry about that. The other hand that this one has, is very, very skinny hand, if you can see it there on that cow's face, is the second hand. And when this minute hand, this long one here, is the minute hand. It's got a big hand, we call it, and a little hand. And when that big hand has travelled all the way around the clock, that means an hour has gone past. 1 whole hour. There's some other numbers now we need to remember. We've got seconds. They are the small measures of time. Then we've got minutes, and there are 60 seconds in a minute. Then we've got hours. There are 60 minutes in an hour. And there are 24 hours in a day. So we're going to concentrate today on o'clock. So let's go through. Let's count how many hours are on our clocks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now when it gets to 12, it carries on going. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what we need to look at first is this hour hand. And if that hour hand is pointing directly at a number, that is telling you what hour it is. So if the minute hand is on the 12 and the short hand, if the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is pointing at a number, it is something o'clock. O'clock. Now we love to play the game Faint o'r gloch, Mr. Blythe. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? And we shout 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So this one here, can you see it's on the 12, so it's o'clock, and the short hand is pointing at the 1, so it's 1 o'clock. Then this hand travels around for a whole hour, which is 60 minutes. And now the short hand is pointing at the 2, so it's 2 o'clock. Then the minute hand goes all the way around the clock again, back to the top. And now it's 3 o'clock. 3 o'r gloch, 3 o'clock. Then what's it do again? Carries on all the way around until it gets back to 12, and it's 4 o'clock. So I'm going to show you on this one now, because when this minute hand is moving, this hour hand is moving very, very slowly. The hour hand takes 1 whole hour to get from one number to the next number, whereas the minute hand is travelling much faster. And It goes all the way back around in an hour. That goes all the way around the clock. This one just moves from number to number. So watch me now when I do it with this one. So here we go. So at the moment, have a look where the hands are. It is 12 o'clock. So now look what's happening. Can you see that when, I'm trying not to get the light on it, when this minute hand is moving around, now obviously I'm not moving it around properly because it's a little tiny space for me to fit my finger in. So here we go, look, as is coming up to, there we go, Faint o gloch, Mr. Blythe. Just trying to get it in screen. Mr. Richard's been like a drip this morning. It's 1 o'clock. So what's it going to be next? When I keep turning this around, tick, 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 all the way around, it is going to be Faint o gloch, Mr. Blythe. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 2 o'clock. So let's have a think of what we do at different times of the day. We come to school at this time. Faint o'r gloch. 9 o'clock. Mr. Richard's shutting her blind again because the sun has decided to come out again. 9 o'clock. We go for lunch, or lunchtime is this time now. We can't see that hour hand because it's hiding behind the minute hand, which means it's 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Now, when we have assembly on a Friday, we go to assembly at this time, which is, well, Faint o gloch, Mr. Blythe. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? 10 o'clock. Then we tend to have our story in class at this time of the day. When we've been out to play, we've come back in, and this is the time that we are having our story. Faint o gloch, Mr. Blythe. 3 o'clock. Now, Mrs. Richards gets up at this time for school. There we go. Oh. Faint o gloch, Mr. Blythe. 6 o'clock. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, not in the evening. If I got up at 6 o'clock in the evening, then I would have missed you all. So that's the other thing we've got to think about. We see 12 o'clock in the afternoon, which is when we go for dinner. And then we see 12 o'clock in the night, which is midnight. So we've got midday. Midday is 12 o'clock lunchtime. Midnight is 12 o'clock when Cinderella had to get home from the ball. Okay, that was 12 o'clock before everything turned back to how it was. So that's o'clock. I want you to keep an eye on the clock in your house today and have a little look to see when you can see 12 o'clock. Now, Mrs. Richards is going to show you what it looks like on a digital clock. I found a piece of scrap paper. So you are looking for this on the digital clock. 12 o'clock. And that 00 means no minutes have gone past. That is o'clock. Okay, I want you to see today, and we haven't got long to go, when you can see that time on your digital clock, or this time, if Mommy and Daddy have got a clock that looks like this, or a watch, because we wear watches on our hands, don't we, to tell the time. Mrs. Richards could do with a watch about this size now. With her eyes getting so old, that would be much easier. Often you see Mrs. Richards going like this with her arms because her arms are not quite far enough away from her face to tell the time. So I want you to look out for 12 o'clock on an analogue clock. That's a clock with hands. Or 12 o'clock like this on a digital clock. That's your challenge for today. And I shall see you later in the week for some more time telling fun. Hwyl fawr!